Ladies, you need to understand something powerful today. You are far more than just flesh and bone. There are forces, unseen yet always present, guiding you, protecting you, even when you don't realize it. Today we're talking about something deep, something that can shift the way you see yourself and the world around you. You could be one of those women who is protected by angels. You might not even know it, but I'm here to reveal how you fit into this divine purpose. You've been through it, heartache, struggle, confusion. But guess what? You've made it through, and you're stronger for it. Now the question is, are you one of those 5 types of women who walks with angels? Stay with me as we explore this, because this could change everything. There's a certain type of woman who steps into any situation with a quiet confidence that commands respect. She doesn't need to shout to be noticed. She doesn't seek the approval of others because she knows deep down in her core who she is and what she stands for. This woman doesn't rely on external validation to define her worth. She has found the courage to define herself, not through the eyes of others, but through her own understanding of her value. And because of this, she is protected by unseen forces. Forces that understand that confidence rooted in self-love and self-acceptance is one of the most powerful forms of protection a woman can carry. She's been through hardship. She's been knocked down, maybe even knocked out, but she never stayed down for long. She's learned over time how to bounce back from the hardest moments. And it's in those struggles that she found her true strength. Not the strength that comes from brute force, but the strength that comes from resilience. The strength that comes from understanding that no matter how tough life gets, she has what it takes to rise again, to pick herself up, dust herself off, and continue moving forward. But this woman didn't always know her worth. She didn't always walk into a room with the confidence that now radiates from her. She was once uncertain, questioning herself, wondering if she was enough. She had moments of self-doubt, just like everyone else. But somewhere along her journey, something shifted. She realized that the approval of others was never going to make her feel whole. She understood that her worth was not contingent upon someone else's opinion of her. It wasn't about how many people liked her, how many people agreed with her, or how many people praised her. Her worth came from something deeper, something more authentic. Her worth came from within. And that's when everything changed for her. She no longer looked to others to tell her who she was. She didn't need anyone to tell her that she was enough, because she knew it for herself. And that's when the protection started to come. The moment she realized her worth, she began to attract the energy that matched her newfound sense of self. The universe, or whatever forces guide us, responded to her newfound confidence. She began to move differently, interact differently, and experience life differently. She was no longer afraid to be herself. She stopped hiding parts of who she was in order to make others feel comfortable. She stopped shrinking herself to fit into spaces that didn't honor her. And because of that, she became untouchable. Not because she was invincible, but because she had learned the most powerful lesson of all: how to love and respect herself. Her confidence is quiet, but it's undeniable. It doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't demand validation. It simply exists, unwavering and steady, like a pillar that no storm can shake. And that's the kind of confidence that protects her. It's not the kind of confidence that gets lost in the noise of the world. It's not the kind of confidence that crumbles under pressure. It's the kind of confidence that comes from a deep-rooted understanding of self-worth, a worth that cannot be shaken by criticism, rejection, or failure. She's the woman who walks into a room, and even if no one says a word, everyone knows she's there. Not because of how she looks, not because of what she's wearing, but because of the energy she brings with her. People are drawn to her, not because she's trying to be the center of attention, but because she radiates something real, something genuine, something grounded in self-assurance. When she speaks, people listen, not because she's louder than everyone else, but because her words carry weight. They are thoughtful, deliberate, and meaningful. She's also the woman who doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She doesn't chase after relationships that drain her, jobs that don't fulfill her, or opportunities that don't honor her talents. She knows her worth, and she knows that she deserves the best. She doesn't settle for the bare minimum. She doesn't tolerate disrespect. And when she recognizes that something or someone is not in alignment with her standards, she doesn't hesitate to walk away. That doesn't mean she's cold or unkind. It means she values herself enough to choose peace and respect over anything that doesn't serve her highest good. In fact, her ability to walk away from situations that no longer serve her is a sign of strength, not weakness. It takes real courage to let go of things, people, or even parts of yourself that no longer align with who you are becoming. But she's not afraid of letting go. She's learned that the right things will come into her life at the right time, and she's patient enough to wait for them. She understands that forcing things doesn't lead to fulfillment. It just leads to frustration. So she lets go of what's not meant for her, trusting that what is meant for her will find its way to her. And that's where the angels come in. This woman's confidence is not something that happens by chance. It's not something that comes naturally to everyone. It's the result of years of self-discovery, of learning to rise from the ashes every time life knocks her down, of standing firm in her truth even when the world tells her to shrink. This kind of strength doesn't go unnoticed. It's seen by the universe, is seen by the angels, who are always watching over her. They protect her not because she's perfect, but because she's strong. She's learned how to trust herself. She's learned how to stand up for herself. And because of that, she's not just protected by angels, she's surrounded by them. When you walk with the kind of confidence this woman has, you attract the protection and guidance that the universe is ready to offer. When you stand in your worth, when you refuse to let anyone dim your light, you become untouchable. You become a force that is guarded and shielded by forces greater than yourself. You don't need to look for external validation. You don't need to ask for permission to be who you are, because the angels have already granted you the protection you deserve. And all you have to do is believe it. There is a force that operates in the background of our lives, something unseen, something that cannot be touched, but something that can be felt. This is the force of protection, guidance, and direction. It is the force that keeps us safe in moments of danger, that pushes us forward when we feel like giving up, and that reminds us of our worth when we forget it. For some women, this force comes in the form of angels, beings who are not necessarily seen, but whose presence is deeply felt. You see, angels are not just mystical figures from old stories or religious texts. They are a representation of the protective and guiding energies that surround us every single day. They manifest in different ways, and for some women, they show up as a deep inner knowing, a sense of direction when the path ahead is unclear, or a quiet but firm conviction that no matter what happens, they will make it through. What makes these women stand out is that they know the truth. They are not alone. They know that there is something or someone greater than themselves that has their back. These women are protected, not because they are perfect or without flaws, but because they possess something incredibly powerful, the ability to surrender to the unseen. They understand that there are things in this world that they cannot control, but that doesn't mean they are powerless. They trust that the universe or whatever higher power they believe in has a plan for them. And because of this trust, they attract protection in ways that others often fail to recognize. This doesn't mean that their lives are free of hardship or struggle. On the contrary, these women are just as familiar with pain and disappointment as anyone else. But the difference is in their perspective. When the storms come, they don't panic. They don't try to control every element of their circumstances. Instead, they accept that challenges are a part of life and that they are equipped to handle whatever comes their way. They move through life with a sense of calm, knowing that they are never alone. This sense of peace is their anchor, their shield, and it protects them from the chaos that can so easily derail others. It is the ability to surrender that allows these women to receive the protection that angels offer. They don't have to force things to happen. They understand that life is not about constantly striving or pushing against the current. Instead, they know when to let go. When they face challenges, they don't fight against them with all their might. Instead, they step back, trust the process, and allow the universe, or whatever higher power they believe in, to guide them to the right answer. They know that trying to control everything is a surefire way to create chaos in their own lives. So, they release the need for control, and in doing so, they open the door for divine protection to enter. Angels in this context are not just beings that swoop in and rescue people from danger. They are the subtle whispers of guidance, the gut feeling that tells a woman to go left when everyone else is going right, the moments of clarity when everything seems foggy, and the peace that comes in the middle of a storm. Angels are not just protectors, they are guides, offering wisdom and direction at every turn. And when a woman learns to listen to that inner voice, that quiet guidance, she is walking in alignment with the protection that angels offer. These women are not passive in their protection. They are not waiting for something to happen. They actively cultivate an environment in which they can hear and receive this guidance. They work on their spiritual and mental health, cultivating practices that allow them to tune in to the energy around them. This might look like meditation, prayer, or simply spending time in nature. These women make space in their lives to connect with the higher power that is guiding them. They understand that protection doesn't just come from external sources, it also comes from within. When they align their actions, thoughts, and beliefs with their inner truth, they create a powerful shield around themselves that no external force can break through. They also understand that protection is not always about avoiding challenges or escaping pain. Sometimes the protection these women experience comes in the form of resilience, the ability to bounce back from hardship stronger than before. They don't shy away from difficulties because they know that growth often comes through struggle. Instead, they embrace the challenges that come their way, understanding that each one is a lesson. Each one is an opportunity for growth. They know that no matter what happens, they have the strength to move through it and come out the other side even stronger. This resilience is part of their divine protection. It is a shield that cannot be broken because it is built on trust, faith, and inner strength. These women also recognize that protection does not mean that life will be perfect. They understand that being protected does not mean being free from pain, failure, or heartache. It means that no matter what happens, they will never be truly alone. The protection they receive from angels is not a guarantee of an easy life, but a promise that they will always be guided through whatever comes their way. And it's in that understanding that they find peace because they know that they don't have to have all the answers. They don't have to know exactly how things will unfold. They just have to trust that the guidance they need will always be available to them. For these women, the angels are not just protectors. They are a reminder that they are not walking this path alone. They are not expected to figure everything out on their own, to face every challenge alone, or to carry the weight of the world alone. There is always a force greater than themselves that has their back, offering them the guidance, the protection, and the strength they need to keep going. They trust in this force with everything they have, and because of that, they are never truly vulnerable. They are always shielded, always supported, and always protected. The key to receiving this protection is not in being perfect or avoiding hardship. It's in surrendering to the process, trusting the guidance, and having the faith to move forward even when the way ahead is unclear. When a woman can do this, when she can surrender to the unseen forces that guide her, she steps into a place of divine protection, one that will carry her through every challenge, every storm, and every trial she faces. This is the power of understanding that she is always protected by angels, both seen and unseen. In a world where chaos often rules and the hustle for success leaves little room for peace, there are women who remain untouched by the noise around them. They stand as pillars of calm, unwavering in their confidence and grounded in their purpose. This serenity isn't the result of an easy life or the absence of challenges. On the contrary, these women have faced their own share of struggles, pain, loss, failure, but they have learned to rise above it. They are women who walk through life with the grace of someone who knows they are being watched over, protected, and guided by forces unseen. There's a certain strength in these women that cannot be broken, and it's not because they are immune to hardship. It's because they've learned how to be resilient in the face of adversity. The protection these women receive doesn't come from avoiding the storm. It comes from their ability to stand tall in the midst of it. They have learned that peace isn't the absence of conflict. It's the presence of a strong inner foundation. And it's this foundation that makes them unshakable. It's not about pretending that life is easy or that they don't face challenges just like everyone else. It's about the way they face those challenges. When adversity strikes, they don't crumble under the pressure. Instead, they dig deeper, finding strength they didn't know they had. They tap into a well of inner resilience that seems to come from nowhere, but is deeply rooted in the belief that they are never alone. This faith that they are protected by angels or higher forces allows them to move through life with a sense of calm that others might find unfathomable. They have an understanding that life is about both the highs and the lows, the moments of joy and the moments of pain, and that each one serves a purpose in their journey. While others might fear the tough times, these women embrace them because they know that it's through these challenges that their true strength is revealed. They've learned that their worth isn't dependent on their circumstances, but on how they handle those circumstances. Their sense of self-worth is not tied to success, wealth, or recognition. It's tied to something far more powerful: their inner peace and unwavering belief in their own strength. Their protection comes from their ability to remain grounded no matter what life throws at them. They have developed a strong sense of self and a deep inner knowing that nothing in this world can shake their belief in themselves. This isn't arrogance or pride. It's an understanding of who they are at their core. They know their value, and because they know their value, they are able to navigate through life with a sense of calm that is rare to find. The angels don't protect them because they are perfect or flawless, but because they have learned to align themselves with the universe. They trust the process of life, knowing that everything that comes their way, good or bad, has a purpose. And that purpose is to help them grow, learn, and ultimately become more of who they are meant to be. The energy these women carry is magnetic. It's the energy of someone who knows their worth and is not afraid to stand in it. They don't apologize for taking up space in the world. They don't shrink themselves to make others feel comfortable. Instead, they radiate an energy that others are drawn to, not because they're seeking attention, but because their confidence and inner peace are like a light in the darkness. When they walk into a room, they don't need to say a word. Their presence speaks volumes. It's the kind of presence that tells others that they are safe, that they are seen, and that they are worthy of respect. But this isn't just about how they are perceived by others. This inner peace also reflects how they see themselves. These women don't seek validation from others because they've already found it within themselves. They don't need approval to feel worthy. They don't need anyone else's affirmation to know that they matter. They are already at peace with who they are. And this peace is a powerful shield, one that protects them from the negativity, criticism, and judgment that others might throw their way. It's not that they don't hear the criticism or feel the sting of judgment, they do, but because their sense of self-worth is so strong, they don't let it define them. They don't internalize the negativity that others may project onto them. Instead, they let it roll off them like water off a duck's back, knowing that their worth isn't determined by the opinions of others. This peace comes from a deep understanding that the universe works in mysterious ways. They know that sometimes things don't go as planned and sometimes life can seem unfair. But they trust that everything happens for a reason. They trust that even in the toughest times, there is something greater at work. And this trust in the unseen forces, whether it's angels, the universe, or whatever higher power they believe in, gives them the strength to continue moving forward, no matter what. They have learned the power of surrendering control. They've realized that they don't need to force things to happen. They don't need to micromanage every detail of their lives. Instead, they allow life to unfold as it is meant to, knowing that they are being guided toward their highest good. This ability to surrender is a form of protection in itself. When they let go of the need to control everything, they open themselves up to divine guidance. The universe, or the angels that protect them, know the way. And when they allow themselves to trust in this guidance, they are protected in ways they could never have imagined. It's as though they are being guided along a path that is already set for them, and all they have to do is follow. The protection isn't always obvious at first. Sometimes it comes in the form of a closed door, a missed opportunity, or a setback. But these women have learned to trust that these moments are just part of the process. They don't see obstacles as signs that they are on the wrong path. Instead, they see them as signs that they are being guided towards something better, something greater, something more aligned with their purpose. The peace they carry is not just a passive force, it's active. It's a way of being that transforms every situation they face. When they are faced with challenges, they don't panic or try to fix things immediately. Instead, they pause, take a deep breath, and trust that everything will work out as it is meant to. This peace is a reflection of their deep faith in the process of life. It's not that they don't have fears or doubts, they do, but they have learned to acknowledge these fears without letting them control their actions. Instead of allowing fear to dictate their decisions, they choose to trust in the guidance they are receiving, even if they don't fully understand it at the time. The protection these women receive is not just about avoiding pain or hardship. It's about being shielded from the fear and anxiety that can come with those challenges. They have learned how to stay grounded, how to remain calm in the face of uncertainty, and how to trust that they are always supported. This peace, this trust, and this unwavering belief in their own worth is the protection that angels offer. It is the protection that keeps them steady when the world around them is anything but. There is a unique power within women who have mastered the art of forgiveness. It's not just the kind of forgiveness that comes easily, the kind where they simply let things go without much thought. No, this forgiveness is a deliberate choice, one that takes time, energy, and emotional strength. It's a powerful kind of forgiveness that frees them from the chains of past hurt, resentment, and betrayal. These women understand that holding on to anger or pain only keeps them bound to the very thing that hurt them in the first place. And so they make the conscious decision to release it, not because the person who wronged them deserves forgiveness, but because they deserve peace. Forgiveness, for them, is a form of protection. It's a shield that protects their hearts and minds from being consumed by negativity. It's a way to stop the cycle of hurt before it has a chance to spiral out of control. When they forgive, they take back control of their own emotional state. They refuse to let someone else's actions dictate how they feel or how they move through the world. It's about reclaiming their own power and understanding that forgiveness is not for the person who hurt them, it's for themselves. It's about clearing the emotional baggage that weighs them down and creates space for healing, growth, and peace. This kind of forgiveness doesn't mean that they forget what happened or condone the actions of the person who hurt them. It simply means that they choose not to let the hurt define them. They recognize that holding on to past wounds only keeps them tethered to the past, and they are determined to move forward. They understand that in order to fully heal and experience the fullness of life, they must release the hold that the past has on them. It's an act of courage to forgive because it requires letting go of the narrative that says they were wronged, that they were a victim. It requires them to stand in their own power and choose peace over pain. And it is this inner peace that becomes their protection. Forgiveness also frees them from the toxic energy of bitterness. These women know that when they hold on to resentment, they are allowing that resentment to take up space in their lives. They know that bitterness is like a poison, slowly eating away at their joy and their ability to connect with others. It clouds their judgment, distorts their perspective, and keeps them from experiencing the fullness of the present moment. By forgiving, they clear the space for love, for growth, and for new possibilities. They understand that by letting go of the past, they open themselves up to the beauty of the future. Forgiveness becomes a tool that helps them stay grounded, calm, and focused on what truly matters. This ability to forgive also helps them protect their relationships. These women don't hold grudges, and they don't let small offenses fester and grow into something bigger than they need to be. They understand that relationships are about give and take, and that no one is perfect. They know that people will make mistakes, and that sometimes even the people they love the most will hurt them. But they don't let these mistakes define the relationship. Instead, they choose to focus on the bigger picture. They understand that forgiveness is a way to protect the bond they share with others, whether it's a romantic partner, a friend, or a family member. They know that if they don't forgive, they risk letting resentment build and poisoning the relationship. Forgiveness, for them, is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, maturity, and a commitment to love. These women also understand the power of self-forgiveness. They know that they are not perfect, and they don't expect perfection from themselves. They make mistakes, just like anyone else. But what sets them apart is their ability to forgive themselves. They don't carry the weight of guilt or shame because they have learned that self-forgiveness is essential to moving forward. They understand that holding on to guilt only prevents them from growing. It traps them in a cycle of self-criticism and self-doubt. By forgiving themselves, they allow themselves to heal, to grow, and to evolve into the person they are meant to be. This self-forgiveness is a protective shield that prevents them from being trapped in negativity. It allows them to be gentle with themselves, to show compassion when they fall short, and to continue striving toward their best self without the burden of self-punishment. The act of forgiveness also opens the door to a deeper sense of peace. These women have learned that peace doesn't come from external circumstances. It doesn't come from getting revenge, from getting even, or from holding on to a grudge. Peace comes from within. It comes from releasing the things that don't serve them, from letting go of the negativity, and from choosing to move forward with grace. Forgiveness is the pathway to peace, and it is this peace that becomes their greatest protection. When they forgive, they release the need for control, the need for retribution, and the need for validation. They no longer seek to make things right or to change the past. Instead, they focus on the present moment and on what they can control: their response, their actions, and their attitude. And in doing so, they protect their own sense of peace and well-being. Another layer of protection comes from the way forgiveness strengthens their spiritual connection. These women recognize that forgiveness is not just an emotional or psychological act. It is a deeply spiritual practice. They understand that when they forgive, they align themselves with higher principles of love, compassion, and understanding. They tap into a higher energy that helps them stay connected to their purpose and to their inner peace. This spiritual alignment acts as a protective force, shielding them from negative influences and helping them stay grounded in their true selves. When they forgive, they align themselves with the divine flow of life. And it is this flow that protects them from the harmful effects of holding on to anger or resentment. Forgiveness for these women is an act of empowerment. It is not about being passive or allowing others to take advantage of them. It is about reclaiming their power and choosing peace over conflict. It is about protecting their emotional health, their relationships, and their spiritual well-being. And when they forgive, they not only free themselves, but also create space for growth, healing, and transformation. They know that they are not defined by the hurts of the past. They are defined by their ability to rise above it, to forgive, and to move forward with grace. This act of forgiveness becomes their protection, their shield, and their key to living a life of peace, purpose, and power. There is a powerful and undeniable force within women who embrace their purpose and walk in their strength. These women know who they are. They've discovered their purpose. They understand their value, and they are committed to living their truth no matter what. When you walk in your purpose, there's an energy about you that can't be ignored. It's magnetic. People are drawn to you because you exude confidence, conviction, and clarity. You know that you are here for a reason, and you are determined to fulfill that reason no matter the obstacles. The key to walking in your purpose is recognizing that you are not here by accident. Your life has meaning. Your story matters. Every experience you've gone through, every challenge you've faced has been leading you to this moment, to this understanding of who you are and why you are here. These women are deeply connected to their purpose, and they make no apologies for it. They don't let anyone or anything shake them from their course. They are unshakable in their commitment to living a life of meaning, and this is what makes them untouchable. When a woman walks in her purpose, she understands that she is an extension of something greater than herself. She knows that her life is a reflection of the divine, of the energy that created her, and that nothing can stand in her way when she is aligned with that purpose. This alignment gives her a sense of peace and protection because she knows that she is moving in the direction she was always meant to go. The universe, or whatever you believe in, works in mysterious ways to open doors for her, to guide her, and to make a way when there seems to be no way. It's as if the very energy of the world conspires to help her succeed, because she is in alignment with her true purpose. There's a power in purpose that makes a woman unstoppable. When you walk in your purpose, you are no longer swayed by the opinions of others. You stop caring about who agrees with you and who doesn't. You don't need validation from anyone because you know you are doing what you are meant to do. You are guided by your inner compass, which is stronger than any external influence. And this is what gives these women an unwavering strength. They are clear on their path, and no one can distract them from it. Their purpose becomes their anchor, their shield, and their foundation. It is the thing that keeps them grounded when the storms of life come, and it is the thing that keeps them going when others may have given up. Women who walk in their purpose have an inner peace that comes from knowing they are fulfilling their life's work. This peace is unshakable because they are living authentically. They are not pretending to be someone they are not. They are not living for the approval of others. They are not seeking external markers of success or happiness. Their success is defined by their ability to walk in their truth and do the work they were meant to do. This kind of peace is contagious. It radiates from them and affects everyone they come into contact with. People are drawn to their energy because it is a reflection of their inner strength and alignment with their purpose. When you walk in your purpose, you also protect your energy. Women who understand their purpose are selective about how they spend their time and who they spend it with. They don't waste time on people or activities that don't serve their growth or align with their purpose. They know that their time is valuable and they protect it fiercely. They avoid distractions that would pull them off course, and they refuse to engage in drama or negativity that would drain their energy. They understand that their purpose requires focus, and they guard that focus with everything they have. They don't let anyone or anything disrupt their peace. They know that the people they surround themselves with should elevate them, not diminish them. If someone doesn't align with their purpose, they have no problem letting them go. This protection of energy is also reflected in the way they set boundaries. They are not afraid to say no. They know that in order to stay true to their purpose, they have to protect their time, their energy, and their emotional well-being. They don't apologize for putting themselves first because they know that in order to fulfill their purpose, they must first take care of themselves. They understand that self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, they would burn out, lose sight of their purpose, and be unable to give to others in the way they want to. By setting boundaries, they are not only protecting themselves, but also preserving their ability to serve others in the way they are meant to. Because women also understand that their purpose often involves service to others. They are not just walking in their purpose for their own benefit, they are walking in it for the benefit of those around them. Whether they are mothers, mentors, leaders, or friends, they recognize that their purpose has the potential to impact others in profound ways. They are driven by the desire to make a difference, to leave a legacy, and to help others fulfill their own potential. When you walk in your purpose, you are in a position to lift others up, to guide them, and to help them find their own path. The more they walk in their purpose, the more they inspire others to do the same. There is an undeniable power in a woman who is walking in her purpose. When you are connected to your purpose, you are unstoppable. Nothing can stand in your way because you know that you are doing what you were meant to do. The universe, God, or whatever higher power you believe in is working with you to make sure that you succeed. You are aligned with your true self, and this alignment gives you the strength, clarity, and courage to keep moving forward no matter what obstacles you face. And it's this strength and clarity that protects you. It's a shield that keeps you safe from doubt, fear, and negativity. It's a protection that comes from within, and it allows you to step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. There is an undeniable strength within women who carry the heart of a warrior, a force so powerful that it cannot be broken or bent by the harsh winds of life. These women possess resilience, a fierce inner power that allows them to bounce back from life's setbacks, to stand tall after every challenge, and to move forward with purpose no matter what they face. Resilience is their secret weapon, and it is what sets them apart. It is not just about surviving the difficulties of life, it's about thriving in spite of them. It's about learning, growing, and evolving through adversity rather than being crushed by it. Resilient women understand that life is not always fair. They know that things don't always go according to plan and that obstacles will appear when least expected. But they also know that these challenges don't define them. They refuse to let life's setbacks determine their worth or their future. They have learned to look beyond the immediate pain of a situation and see it as an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. They are not afraid of difficulty because they know that it's through adversity that their true strength is revealed. When these women face hardship, they don't shrink away from it. They lean into it. They confront their challenges head on, knowing that on the other side of struggle lies victory, wisdom, and personal transformation. They are not afraid to fail because they understand that failure is not the end of the road. It's merely a stepping stone to success. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to come back stronger than before. They view challenges not as roadblocks, but as part of their journey toward greatness. They don't see themselves as victims of circumstance. They see themselves as warriors, equipped with everything they need to overcome whatever comes their way. The power of resilience also lies in their ability to maintain hope even when things seem bleak. They have an unshakable belief that no matter how hard life gets, there is always a way forward. This hope is what keeps them going when everything around them seems to be falling apart. They trust in themselves and in the process of life. They know that every difficulty they face is temporary and that brighter days are ahead. This hope is not passive, it's active. It drives them to keep moving, to keep fighting, and to never give up on their dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. Resilient women also understand that they are not alone in their struggles. They have a deep sense of connection to others, and they draw strength from the relationships they build along the way. These women have a strong support system, whether it's family, friends, mentors, or a spiritual community. They know that they don't have to face life's challenges in isolation. They are not afraid to lean on others when they need help, to ask for support when they are struggling, and to allow themselves to be vulnerable. Vulnerability, to them, is not a weakness, it's a strength. It's an acknowledgement that they are human, and that sometimes even the strongest of warriors need a hand to hold. But it's not just about receiving support. Resilient women also know how to give it. They are compassionate and empathetic, and they use their experiences to lift others up. They understand that everyone is fighting their own battles, and they are always ready to offer encouragement, wisdom, and a listening ear. They know that in order to truly be resilient, they must also be able to help others through their own struggles. Their resilience doesn't just protect them, it extends to the people around them, creating a ripple effect of strength, hope, and support that spreads far and wide. What makes resilient women truly exceptional is their ability to adapt. Life doesn't always unfold the way we expect, and often the road ahead is filled with unexpected twists and turns. Resilient women don't resist change, they embrace it. They know that life is about constant evolution, and they are not afraid to pivot, to adjust, and to find new ways to move forward when things don't go as planned. Their adaptability is what helps them navigate through uncertainty and it's what allows them to rise above challenges that would break most people. They are not tied to a rigid idea of what their life should look like. They are open to new possibilities, to different paths, and to discovering new strengths within themselves. This adaptability also allows them to let go of the past. Resilient women are not defined by the mistakes they've made, the pain they've suffered, or the things they've lost. They understand that the past does not dictate their future. They are willing to release the weight of past hurt, disappointment, and regret in order to move forward with a fresh perspective. They don't dwell on what could have been or on what they didn't achieve. They focus on what they can do now. Their ability to let go of the past and to embrace the present moment is what allows them to heal and grow. They know that in order to become who they are meant to be, they must first release what no longer serves them. The strength of resilient women also lies in their unwavering belief in their ability to create change in their lives. They understand that they are the architects of their own destiny. They know that they have the power to shape their future regardless of their circumstances. They refuse to be defined by their past, their upbringing, or their current situation. Instead, they take ownership of their lives and take action toward creating the life they desire. They know that while they may not be able to control everything that happens to them, they can control how they respond to it. They take responsibility for their choices, and they understand that every decision they make has the power to shape their future. This belief in their own power is what fuels their resilience. When things get tough, they don't give up. They double down. They push through the discomfort, the doubt, and the fear because they know that they are capable of achieving whatever they set their minds to. Their resilience isn't about never feeling pain or doubt. It's about feeling those things and continuing to move forward anyway. They know that strength is not about avoiding hardship. It's about rising above it, about finding the courage to keep going even when it seems like everything is falling apart. The greatest protection for these women comes from within. It is their resilience that shields them from the negativity, the challenges, and the setbacks that come their way. It is their unwavering belief in themselves, their ability to adapt, their capacity to love and support others, and their deep connection to their purpose that allows them to navigate life's storms with grace and strength. They are not just surviving, they are thriving, and it is this thriving spirit that protects them, allowing them to live lives of fulfillment, power, and unshakable peace. So now you know these 5 types of women are walking with a divine force, a protection that comes from knowing who you are, standing for what you believe in, and fighting for the ones you love. But let me ask you this, which one are you? Are you that woman who walks with strength, love, and purpose? Because if you aren't, it's time to step up and claim your divine protection. It's not about being perfect. It's about recognizing your power, embracing your strength, and understanding that, yes, you are never alone. These angels, they've been watching over you this entire time. Now it's time for you to rise.